Hey now! What is up, everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka Review King MB, and I just got done watching episode 1 of The Last of Us. Jesus. To say that I was nervously anticipating this show is a bit of an understatement. I am a huge fan of The Last of Us video game. I've played, especially the first game, multiple times. I played it even fairly recently. And so this is a story that I am in love with. These are characters that I am deeply attached to. And when this show first got announced, when the cast and the actors were announced for this show, initially I was disappointed. And I know that us fanboys have that initial way of just rejecting right off the bat whatever they're deciding to do off of face value, or when you see pictures of these actors as these characters that you already have a mental image, a way that you feel like they should speak and act. As I saw the first trailer, and the first trailer is what made me go, oh shit, let me shut the fuck up and actually give this a shot. And so now I'm watching this, and right off the bat, I was amazed. I was amazed by how good, well, the beginning. I should get to this first. The very beginning, they have this scene where it's 1968, I think, and it's this talk show where these two scientists or doctors, whatever, they're discussing the possibility of this fungus virus. And I found this fascinating because I always said that if the zombie apocalypse ever happened in real life, it probably wouldn't be people dying and just coming back, you know? Like, maybe that's a little too far-fetched. But the idea of a virus, an airborne or whatever sickness, is overtaking your body, overtaking your brain, and like rabies, just making you act rabid and wild, and it forces you to eat people and just you act like a zombie. I feel like if it ever happens, that's the way it would happen. And so, great way to set up what type of virus, what type of fungus that this thing is, especially to general audiences that don't already know the story. And also, given our pandemic that we've been through, it was it was haunting to have this coincide. And then we jump to 2003 and we meet Pedro Pascal. And once again, I didn't know what to think of his casting. I mean, Pedro Pascal, great actor in general. Everything that I've seen him in, whether it was Game of Thrones or The Mandalorian, I'm always like, yeah, he's solid, you know. But I wasn't prepared for how good he would be as Joel. Even the beginning, when he's just a hardworking dad, right? He's not a bad guy. He's a guy who's trying his best, trying to make ends meet, loses track of time, and then we meet his daughter, Sarah. Now, the casting of Sarah was very important because Sarah's role in the game is pivotal to Joel and his journey. And so Sarah, we spent a lot of time with Sarah in like that first maybe half hour or so, and the actress that they got to play Sarah was great. She was likable. She was so good that I almost, a small part of me did not want them to kill her. And when I mean that, it's just as far as things have to happen, right? Things have to happen in order to fully tell this story, at least in the way that it should be told. Because you have people from the game who say, well, we already know the story, we already know what happens, so what's in it for us? But if they changed major things, if they change things, like if they don't kill a certain character, or if they swap around events, we're going to be pissed. You can't make us happy. So I welcome the way that they're deciding to do it. And so far, they're staying accurate. They are fully adapting almost beat for beat the game, and it's great. But also, we spent more time with the Sarah character. Like I said, we saw her in school. We see her take her dad's watch to the shop to be fixed for his birthday, and so we live with her. It's like we almost want her to be one of the main characters. And then all hell breaks loose. And first of all, Mercy the dog is probably the smartest character in this show. That dog was like banging on the window, get me the fuck out of here. And then when she tries to help the dog's like, nope, I'm out of here. I'm bouncing. I'm gonna think that that dog survived a long time. And seeing the neighbor's house, seeing just this isn't because I got very similar vibes for that first episode of The Walking Dead, even on a quality level, like when people were blown away by that first episode and like, wow, okay, this is a little different. But they did a good job of establishing how different the infected are in this property, how different the infected move, how much faster they are, how much more dangerous they are than just regular zombies. And then the sequence of Joel and his brother Tommy coming in. Tommy, I like that actor, by the way. He was in Terminator Dark Fate. Let's not talk about that. But he played Ghost Rider in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. The sequence when they take Sarah and they drive out of the city and you see the chaos all outside. They don't stop for the family on the side of the road. The house on the side of the road is on fire. Everything is beat for beat from the game. I was so impressed by how good it looked, how much I instantly recognized, like, they're doing it! They're doing the thing from the game. And then even the mob of people running in the streets and them getting crashing their car and having to run through the chaos. Joel having to carry Sarah through the commotion and infected chasing them. And then the military guy. And this is how I knew. I already knew. I was like, wow, this is the level of care that I wouldn't have expected from most properties. I was already like, this might be the greatest adaptation ever. Not even just video games, but just in general. Like, they're doing so well. And then you get to the military soldier who his orders are to not let anyone get out. He shoots them, Joel and Sarah, and the reveal that Sarah was shot. Again, I already know this. I've been through this. I've already cried from the game when this happened. But the fact that this show got me to cry again. I knew it was coming. I was like, oh no, here it is. And I still cried. That's a testament to these writers, producers, directors, the actors especially. Everything, the actress that played Sarah, everything about that moment hit. And it worked. If they go as hard with the rest of the series, as hard as they did with that moment, then we are in for a treat. We jump ahead 20 years later, and we're in Boston, folks. Boston, my hometown, where I am right here, right now. Even when they're talking about Haymarket and going through I'm like, I go through there. Not the tunnels, of course, but I go through that area almost every day of my life. So that, very cool. And seeing the character of Tess, getting a little bit more of her too, and her getting beat up, and her relationship with Joel, like they surprisingly did more with their relationship than we even get in the game. There's hints and stuff, but this, you actually see how close they are. And the Fireflies, the world building, and the military operation. The iconography, the cinematography, the way how they make this world look lived in and dirty. They're going through the tunnel and they see a fungus infected person stuck to the wall, and I'm just like, this looks great. This does. This does not look cheap. This looks like it has a good budget, but it also looks like the budget was used appropriately. It was used in the parts where it had to be used. And then we see one of the heads of the Firefly groups, this character Marlene, again, prominent in the game, and she has this girl locked up with a chain, and it's Ellie. And Ellie is played by Bella Ramsey, and I remember this actress from Game of Thrones. Now, when she was first cast, I thought, oh, she doesn't look like Ellie. I know she's a good actress from the other show, but I don't know, I don't see it. I had to hear her. I had to hear her. I had to see her attitude. instantly from her first dialogue and the way she says fuck you and the way she's just like, I don't want to deal with this bullshit, I'm like, goddamn, you crazy son of a bitches. That's Ellie. That's her. This girl is pulling off this character in live action, in motion, in a way that I doubted. I doubted that they could do it. Marlene asked Joel to take Ellie into the city. I was getting giddy because I knew how big of a moment this is. I knew what we were in store for. And then the end of the episode, them running into the same officer guard that Joel was ironically selling pills to. And it's the moment. It's the moment when he's testing all of them for the infection. Of course, she rings up that she's positive, and then that's when all hell breaks loose. They find out that she was bit 3 weeks ago. It's a rare situation to where I should be complaining that, oh, I know how this all plays out. I know everything that happens beat for beat. I know who dies. I know how it ends. But I'm not complaining. I have no issues with this because it's so good. It's so good. I don't want them to change anything about the story. And if they're doing what they're doing, this show seems like it will have the balls to see this story out. Anyways, guys, clearly I'm glowing. I'm singing the praises of this show. Let me know in the comments below, what did you think of episode 1 of The Last of Us? Did you enjoy it as much as I did? Are you somebody that has played the game, or are you just watching this? What do you think of that? Like, comment, subscribe. Later!